Welcome back on the old Roadster. Man, she's turning out killer. I am excited. Feeling the pressure a little bit though. That's, just kind of talking about it the other day, and we're down to about a month left, and we're still pretty far away. I don't know. Hope we're not pushing her right down to the wire, but anyways, hope you guys are super excited for this episode. You know what I mean? I'm sure we've clickbaited you already. Anyways, I knew if we were doing a 6-cylinder, we weren't going to just do a lame little 6-cylinder. That's kind of boring. So right from the get-go, I thought, well, maybe a turbo. I got a turbo kit in the other room, a little T4. It's a whole kit, Thought, well, that'd look pretty cool. But I don't know. Then you got to get an intercooler out here and the tubing and all that stuff. Kind of gets, a lot of junk going on in here. So I really didn't want to do that on an open fendered hot rod. I was thinking, well, I got another blower, 144. It's a small block Chevy kit though. It's a WN kit or YN, whatever. It's a whole kit, so I really hate to part that out. We're going to use another small block Chevy, and we're going to want it supercharged. So got on the old marketplace and come up with this bad boy, little Eaton M90 supercharger. Oh yeah, we are getting supercharged in this episode. I am so excited. The goal is to have it running by the end of the episode. That doesn't mean fast forward to the end just to see how it turns out, because I don't even know how it turns out. There's a lot of questions yet. First off, our blower. It's a low mileage, supposedly, off of Buick, whatever, doesn't really matter. Buick Grand Prix, the 3800 V6, like late 90s, early 2000s, did these blowers. Supposedly they put out 10 PSI from what I'm reading. Factory. I didn't realize they ever put out that much power, but yeah, supposed to have a new snout on it. As you can see, I've had her for a minute. We've been playing in this for a minute, but I knew if we're doing it, I want to do it all. I want to try to get it running this episode. I didn't want to tease you guys and then not finish it. So my buddy around the corner, Charlie, he's a hot rodder too. He's been a machinist, retired, whatever. He's got a plasma table, always helps me out with this custom stuff. Super smart. Way above me on most of this stuff, helps me out, kind of, professionalize some of this stuff. So he, like I say, he's got a laser table, plasma table, got us some adapters, 1/4 inch. So this is where our throttle body would have went. It's where our carburetor is going to go. We're going to build all the in-between stuff. As you can see, we got a plate on the bottom. The rotors look pretty good. It sounds good. Everything feels good. I don't know. We got the plate on there, ready to go, ready to start building. So I took this over to Charlie, because I originally knew I wanted the plates. This had a serpentine belt on here, or a serpentine pulley. Me and him tried pulling it, just kind of ended up bending it really. Tried messing around. We thought, man, if it's going to be that much trouble to get off, probably ought to just leave it alone. Originally, I was just wanting to kind of weld the two together, and I thought, mainly we just wanted to try to figure out how to get it centered. I had a couple ideas, and I was throwing them past him, and ultimately, he just kind of nicely said, why don't you just leave that with me overnight? And the next morning, he chucked her in the mill, and look at that. He cut her off. Looks perfect. It's awesome. Look at how well this works out. Got that wallered out a little bit. Look at that. It's just perfect. It fits perfect. It tracks nice and true. We can weld it through these holes. I'm going to drill another set of holes so we can kind of catch right here to the outside, weld her in real good. Anyways, that's going to turn out great. Appreciate Charlie. He's always helped me out, treated me real fair on this. He's excited to see it going too, I think. Anyways, yeah, throw in a comment. What do you guys think? This is so exciting. I'm on like excitement's way up here. Anyways, lower intake. So we're just gonna leave this factory. I don't know if they call this in a log or not, but anyways, we're gonna do a little port and polish in here. We're gonna use this exhaust flange. That's gonna be our lower. It works out perfect, and then we're gonna just slap one of these reducers. I got this from the parts store, $4. Yes, I have a bender, but my bender wouldn't have done that nice a transition at all. I really like that. I think from here we'll just kind of start pieing her out, and get it to where the supercharger can sit on here wherever it wants to. I think it's gonna have to sit a little forward to kind of get our belts to line up. Speaking of belts, you know, we're only gonna be one belt. I kind of went a little bit bigger pulley than the factory pulley because I don't want 10 pounds of boost. I'm targeting like 5 is where I'd like to be, you know. I did a little research online. Apparently the Australians have done this quite a bit. They make a lot of killer parts for these engines and stuff like that. Apparently these engines will take lots of abuse. 7.5 pounds of boost is kind of, from what I understand, what they've been doing. Make really good power out of them, like close to 100 horse, a little better on torque. I'm talking like over 400 foot-pounds of torque just by bolting that blower on. Not doing anything internal, nothing crazy. I'm excited to see that. I hope that it does run that good. One thing I'm concerned about, one belt. Are we gonna slip? Is it gonna be enough? I mean, we're not going for all-out performance here. We're just going for fun, looks mainly, but I do want it to perform. I hope the belt works. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure all that out. There's lots of unknowns. I think for right now, we're gonna pop the radiator, grill shell, get it out of the way so we can line it up, start mocking up where the blower is gonna sit, trying to figure out the intake. That's gonna be kind of a mess. We're just gonna have to tack a bunch of stuff together and then just kind of work on building it. I don't know. We're gonna work on it together. Let's do it. Alrighty, kind of got her mocked up, looks good. Got our lower intake kind of, you know, going. We got our flange on there cleaned up, welded to our pipe. I shortened the pipe down. I was gonna shorten this all the way down to the flange, but then it makes it tight for our nut getting on and off. So I wanted to leave enough room to kind of be able to get a wrench and stuff in there. So we left her up just a little bit, cut it off at a little bit of an angle, and then stuck this, this is like 1/8 inch plate on there. Already had a hole in it. We need to kind of, you know, clean it up, make the hole bigger, all that good stuff, finish weld it. But this is, you know, to where our charge is going to be up here. I kind of want, you know, everything to naturally want to flow down and into the intake is the idea here. I guess I just feel like, I don't know, maybe it didn't need to be angled. I feel like it's just going to flow better. Anyhow, enough with that. I just kind of got her mocked up there anyways, just kind of whatever, it gives us a look. I've got this bracket off the front and I kind of quickly made this up. I can kind of weld it off this alternator bracket and we can kind of come up here and weld it to the front of that, and then it'd be removable. Kind of help just, you know, take the weight off of this snout. Plus, once we get the belt tension on here, it's really going to be pulling down on that. So it's kind of the idea there, but to do that, we need pulleys. And I was messing around with the pulleys earlier. This was our charge pulley here, and we've got our water pump pulley here, whatever. Okay, so I was thinking about this. I'm trying to be quick about this, but explain everything also. We were originally just going to run one belt, and then we had opportunities to change boost, was my original thought. I did some research online, and then I ultimately, I don't know why I didn't do this to begin with, I just Googled it. Hey, a one belt, one V-groove belt, power, an Eaton M90. Google says no, it won't. You got to have multiple. So, and then I was thinking, you know, back to the old flatheads and stuff that had superchargers. Most of them were like a triple groove pulley. You know, I mean, most of them that I remember anyway. So, long story short, went back to Charlie's. I had this other water pump pulley, and it's double groove, same size. It's about the same size as this one. As the big one, so we're going up even more, you know, we're losing even more boost basically, that's what I'm saying. But we'll have a double groove, and look at that, fits perfectly. Can't thank him enough for that. It's going to work out great. But our other problem is we need another multi-groove pulley for here. Don't have one, and the biggest trouble is this one's drilled for wide or narrow pattern. But I've already picked out a wide fan, a wide spacer, and this is a wide pulley, and I don't have any more. All mine are narrow, the narrow bolt pattern. And I don't want to change the fan and everything because we've already got it mocked up and it's already working. So I found this pulley. This is just a crank pulley. Ended up having Charlie cut the center of that bad boy out. And it's got this lip right here. I don't know if you can tell, but it fits perfectly, like literally perfectly right over that. So it makes this like a tri-rib water pump pulley. Kind of a goofy looking one, obviously, I understand. But hey, he didn't charge us for any of this, doing this last little bit here. He said it took him no time. He just did it real quick, didn't hardly take him an hour. And he's done. So we're gonna weld that up real quick. I get it, it's kind of goofy, but really it's not costing us anything. It gets us a double groove, and then we're getting a new alternator. I got one coming anyways, a new one wire. And I'm gonna run a dual groove pulley on the alternator also. So we'll have dual belts on everything. Hopefully the alternator will kind of be our tensioner, I'm hoping. But we're gonna see how things work out. Let's go ahead and get some pulleys figured out, figure out how that's gonna start working out. All right, that worked out slick. We're gonna end up, you know, look at that, track's good. We're gonna end up with probably one extra groove here. I mean, we could probably cut, what's it hurt, I guess. That's my thought. We're just gonna leave it. But it does kind of get us, this is why I wanted to get this all set up, so we can kind of figure out a belt, you know, because our belt angle has to work out here. And that's what I was afraid of. We're gonna be interfering here with the old block. So that kind of bumps out a little bit. So I think we're gonna have to bring the blower down. It's gonna have to be down in here. We're gonna have to get that pulley somewhere center line down in here, which is gonna be tough with our intake. I think we're probably gonna have to turn the blower on its side, which I really didn't want to do that. But I'm thinking that's probably, we definitely gotta get that belt down here though. It's gonna be difficult the way we got it, so it's what we got to do. I guess we're just going to keep messing around. It's part of it though. At least we're gaining. Alrighty. So we got our, I don't know, blower intake, I guess, made. Seen me make that. Little 1.25 inch by quarter flat strap. I had it laying around and I thought, heck, I don't know, why won't that work? I don't know why I won't. So it's heavy duty. We just tacked her in there. I'm just tacking everything for now just because, you know, I don't know. Yes, I can't weld that once this is put together. I'll just cut it back apart. I'm not for sure how I'm gonna do that yet, but we'll make sure everything's welded. You be reassured over there. Anyhow, we got her spaced up. Looks like we're even gonna fall in our hole for our intake, so that's awesome. I hope that this works better because we can come down to there, and that looks pretty good. Will it stay? That's the question. I probably should throw a tack on that. I don't know. Or maybe some vice grips? Boy, I don't want her to fall off there. Don't you fall. Don't fall. Here we go. We'll at least throw some, oh yeah, there you go. See, I knew it, you son of a gun. Knock it off. Stay up there. At least it waited for me. All right, we'll throw some scripts just because I don't want to go tack welding it yet, I don't think. Getting it all messed up with that. Now it doesn't even want to stay up here, it just wants to fall. Oh yeah. All right, she's kind of scripted in place. It's at least not gonna slide off on us. Might have to. There we go. That might work better. Okay, looks like we're honestly pretty lined up there too. Maybe. I barely got her tacked to the intake too, so that's why it's a little wobbly. Just trying to get set up. I got a little ahead of ourselves last time, and then we were doing a bunch of cutting. Let's see. See, even there, I think we're rubbing that housing. I wonder how much of that housing we can grind away. Because you know we can grind some away. I'm just gonna grind some away, you know what I mean? Well, had to redo our intake a little bit, but it's working. It's just barely on the edge of the hole. And I know that's the very edge of the hole on this side, so that'll be just fine. Yeah, everything else is fitting just fine. Looks good. It's gonna weld, and then once we get it all welded, we'll, trim that lower plate, make it look better, of course. But the belt seems to be working pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Before we nail this down though, I did get to messing around looking, and our crank pulley is all the way on, but our water pump pulley is back just a pinch, and I mean like a washer. So it sets our belt off just a tiny bit. And with a supercharger, I want everything as perfect as I can get it. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut a spacer for in behind this pulley real quick. Space it out, just a sheet metal thickness, just a washer. And that'll get us lined up perfectly. Our alternator will be here a day or two, and then we can kind of get everything lined up and nailed in. But I'm really happy with how everything's turning out. We did grind the heck out of that, but it's still all right. It's fine. Yeah, overall, I didn't really want to do the angle. I didn't want to put it in an angle, but I'm not hating on it. I don't know, it looks pretty good from both sides. We can still level out the carburetor and all that good stuff, but yeah, we got to do what we got to do, And I think the alternator is still gonna work for like a belt tensioner. This is a bigger belt, but it's a wider belt, so it's not really working. But if you run that kind of straight down past, our alternator is sticking out further than the belt. So, and our alternator's adjusted all the way in. That baby can swing out all that way. So should give us a good tension, I hope. If anything, we'll put another tensioner or something, but I don't think we're going to need to. I think we definitely need to put something on the end of this snout to kind of make it nice and sturdy. But looking good. We about burned up another day. Got a spacer made for that, so that's lining up perfectly. Super happy with that. Been back and forth to town a couple times, trying to get belts, just trying to get everything to make this work. I think I got a belt on there that's pretty darn close. This inside one, this one's a little too long, but I'm just kind of getting the look. Everything seems to be lining up good. I thought I had it all good before, but our belt wasn't long enough, and we weren't lining up with our alternator very good. Our supercharger was kind of tilted a little bit. Then I was thinking, let's get fancy. We got the degree wheel out. We degreed off the crank, water pump, valve cover, all that good stuff. We're at 85 degrees. We degreed this 85 degrees, the charger, the pulley, all that. Everything's lining up just crisp. That's what I'm saying. Long story short, it's looking good. I've had that blower and lower intake off a dozen times now, I feel like. I've recut this bottom plate a couple times. We've got a hole over here because we flip-flopped her all around. I've got a clear out here on the edge now. We even had to take off the piece off the bottom of our supercharger because, like I say, we got this way out here. I've got this pushed over as far as I can, down as far as I can. I mean, it's even going to be, it's tight to get on and off. So the plan is, I like it where it's at. I think we're we're good. I've got a couple, we're waiting on an alternator, a 2-groove pulley. So we'll put that on, hopefully that'll straighten things out. And then also we're having still, I mean, it's not touching anymore, but it's so darn close to this thermostat housing. I think also a little belt slap might be a trouble. So we're gonna put a smooth groove tensioner up here. It's gonna be a couple days on that also, waiting. So while we're waiting on that, but I'm still happy. Everything's gonna be just fine. We can put the tensioner on later. We can do the alternator later. This is, I'm 99% sure that's right where it needs to be. Everything looks good. So long story short, we're gonna start nailing her down. I don't want to weld this to the, I don't want to weld the upper to the lower yet. I want to go ahead and get this stuff put back on. So we'll throw a piece of filler in there, you know, fill all this back out the way it needs to be. Weld this to the upper intake, we'll flip it over. Again, I don't want to overheat it, so we got to take our time. But before we do all that, again, we're only 2 bolts on the intake holding this whole setup. I think that's a lot of weight out here. We don't have belt tension on it or nothing yet. So this snout's gonna just be constantly pulling down. It's gonna be hard on that. So I think we'll build maybe 1 or 2 legs off of this lower intake, going down to the block, maybe the frame or something, to kind of keep it rigid and solid so it's not moving around nowhere. And then once we get those done, that should kind of center everything and make sure our angle's right and all that good stuff, because right now I've got a jack kind of holding it up. So once we get all that welded, I feel like we can unbolt everything, start welding, put it back together, finish weld, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? It's coming along. Let's build a couple legs. I'll pull that supercharger. And I'm excited, guys. You guys gotta throw in a comment. This thing is turning out cool. Can't wait to hear her humming. Let's keep rolling. Holy smokes, that was a lot of welding and grinding. But look at where we're at. We're doing pretty good. That's all on nice and solid. I mean, that's super solid. Filled in our gap, pretty ugly. About out of gas in that welder, but I was trying to get all the goodie out of it. Got that welded up. We're gonna weld the top and bottom is what I figured in. I put a light behind it. It was you know, sealed up, so that's all it needs to be. Kind of shaved that off, made it look a little prettier. We'll get that welded on there once we, you know, get it on, tacked and all that stuff. I'll pull it back off and we'll pretty it up as much as we can. Oh, let me set you up here. But we got the bottom side, as you've seen, we got it all welded up. None of this is pretty. It was just quick I got my welder turned up as high as it could go on heat, and I got the wire speed turned up about 7. So I was cooking, you know, and I'm not trying to make this like a thick penetrating weld. It's held in there good enough. It was mainly just to seal it up. You know, it was just quick. You seen me cool it a whole bunch. I did not want to warp this up. That's why I left it bolted to the charger. That way the plate wouldn't do anything funny, you know. So all welded up, looks good, whatever. We're kind of down to the point where we need to set her back up and get ahead and burn her down to the lower intake and just be done with it, you know. Got to pull that tape off and stuff yet, but yeah, I think I'll line everything back up, and I think that's the next step. Go ahead and burn her in, and then we can start on to the next. I think that's what I'm going to do. Get you guys set up. I'm going to clean up a little bit, and we'll burn this baby in. Finally, we are welded, solid. It's nice and solid too. Moves the whole rig around trying to move her, so I am happy with that. I just tacked it on all 4 corners on that lower plate. Figure we will, you know, give her a full weld once we're kind of finished up. Belt looks good, but I'd like to get the alternator, get a little tension on the belt, make sure everything's good. But I'm like 99.9% sure that's where I like it. Everything seems to be happy. Yeah, man, that's a huge achievement. Anyhow, moving on. I think now we need to move on to getting our carburetor mounted up. So my thought process is, probably shouldn't have set you guys up, but this will just be awkward for a minute. Anyways, kind of got this box as a spacer. Got an old carb here. Like to kind of mount the carb something similar to that. So I'm thinking we come off here like a piece of, I'm guessing it's gonna be like 3-inch, close to. I'm hoping like 3-inch exhaust pipe will work. And maybe we can come out with a little curve and build a little box or something. We've got, this is our carburetor plate, so build something out to that. So that is the next challenge. I think we'll go ahead and get, let's say, a piece of exhaust pipe, get something going there, and start getting that figured out. So moving on. Yeah, that looks good, huh? I'm liking it. My only dilemma right now is originally I was thinking I wanted the carburetor linkage to go this way, and I ended up setting her up going the other way. Just thinking on if I like that or not. I was thinking it might be easier to run a cable around, but I don't know, now that I'm looking at it, this is working out pretty good too, so I'm just afraid that we might have to poke it up through the cowl. That's my only concern about the carburetor. If we leave it up this tall, because it's pretty tall. If we move it around here, feel like we could come up back here. Might be better looking. We might move that carburetor, but anyhow, we got exhaust pipe coming around. We just kind of folded her open, and then I just took a little piece and slid her down that way. We'll just cap this side off, but that way it'll keep the fuel and air just, you know, naturally sliding down. Weld that all up from the inside, that way it's all fuel solid. Trim all this ugly junk off on the outside, and on the outside it should be just nice and curved. I think we will pop that top back off and turn her one to get the linkage over here. Then we're going to pop that off, fully weld her up, kind of cap that off. Done. Man, that went smooth. Good morning. We're back. Man, walking in, looking at that. I mean, guys, tell me that's not just sweet. I love it. Let me know what you guys think. Yesterday we had to take the kids up to the, get checked out, routine checkups, all that good stuff at the dock in the city, though. We had to go to Omaha and, basically waste the whole day. While we were up there, stopped by the old salvage yard, got us another van seat. This one was out of an '02. Really nice one though. Had the nice trim package. Got the armrest. We're probably gonna seal that off and not use it, but we'll end up trimming the top off, making it fit better. Width-wise, fits great. I sit in there nice, fits good. Anyways, I like to get it down a little more. We're not on the seat right now, guys. I know. Back to the Supercharger. Anyways, we're waiting on the mail this morning. I got an alternator coming. I got a belt tensioner coming, and I think we're ready to need to finish welding up that lower supercharger intake. But I think we're ready to fire it up, maybe. I don't know. Maybe today. We'll find out here soon. Anyways, for right now, I think, we're going to show you the intake here. So last time we were finishing up, we were working on that. Show you how that turned out, because man, it turned out so good. I mean, I'm pretty, whatever. I know it's not perfect, but that turned out darn good. It's all sanded down smooth, whatever. Looks pretty good to me. I'm really happy with it. So I think it's gonna flow nice. Anyways, moving on. I know I'm getting a little lengthy this morning, but I really love her from the front. I like it from the back. We got her centered up nice. One thing I'm thinking maybe we should have done, but I've got a different idea. Maybe we should have centered up the carburetor, put it right in the center of the engine. Maybe that would have looked a little better. It's a little far back. But, like I say, I got a different idea. So let me run this past you. And I ultimately think that this is what we're going to do. So I guess this is what we're doing. So I got this piece of 3/4 inch gas pipe. I've been messing around, kind of got it all collected. The threaded taper end just stabs down in there nice and good. Really like that. We're gonna weld that right onto the top of it. And then we got a breather, so we can still fill our oil, all that good stuff. It's gonna be shorter, but we're working with temporary things right now. Anyways, so the plan is to kind of extend our intake out, something like that. Got a cool chrome bullet on the front. Let me see if I can just get this to set here so I can give you just the 10-cent tour for a second. Come on now. We just want to give them a look. Okay, stay there. And then, then we put this second scoop on here. All right, now we're coming to life. Vision's coming there. I get it. Okay, no, just stay there. We want to get a look. All right. All right, guys. Now, what do you think of that? I think that's pretty cool. Like I say, I think we're going to do it. I'm going to get you guys set up. I really like the 2-scoop idea. It's really just going to be a fake intake between me and you guys. Don't tell nobody, but just for looks. Basically an oil fill. It's going to be super cool looking, I think, in my opinion. And time that intake's all painted up, new chrome valve cover in there, polish some scoops up. I'm thinking she's going to be sweet. Let's do it. And while I'm thinking of it, this is just like an old piece of drive shaft, and the bullet is just, come on now, the thread's on there. Just welded a little piece of plate in there with a bolt. Nothing fancy, 5/16 bolt. They're threaded. You can see it fits that pipe nice and snug. So anyways, let's build it. Alright, well now we got a piece on there, and I welded it all in flush up in here so we can just dump oil in right here and it's just gonna flow straight down in that tube. I kind of, you know, made it all high around, and then it just goes down there. Whatever, you know what I mean. Now that can slap on there, and we can clamp her up or whatever, you know. And we got us an oil cap. I think we just simply take this bad boy, weld a bolt on top of that, and slip her down wherever we desire. I was thinking I was gonna have to make a bottom and stuff, but I think if we just put a bolt on there, done. What else do we gotta do? I think I'll set that other one on there so we can center it up with it. Or do we wanna just maybe mark it out? Maybe I'll just mark it out here on the lines. And we'll just weld a bolt on there. Call her done. Yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know. I love it. I mean, I know it's, you know, probably gaudy to a lot of people. I don't know. Some people are probably thinking that's dumb as heck. I love it. You know what? You don't gotta like it. That's the best part about the car world. I think it's super cool. I like it. Anyways, I think it fills out the front end. Looks cool. Looks gaudy. Looks just obnoxious. I think it looks super cool from the front. Look at that. Oh yeah. Get this side. Get the blower on there. Anyhow, I went to town real quick, got the other belt, and while we were doing that, alternator showed up, and I got a pulley too. So I'm thinking I was gonna do like a tensioner here. I think we got enough tension there, and I was kind of thinking, well, if I just take this pulley, I found a little bushing to fit inside of it. That bolt fits inside of it perfectly. And then if we're just to weld this bolt to this piece of rod, oh, I got too much in my hands. Anyways, if we're to weld that basically like to the side of that, to the bottom of that, I'm not 100% sure yet. Then we can kind of, you know, blend her in, mold her in, whatever. I can weld it to that and bolt this right there and kind of keep some tension on that. That's what I'm thinking. So I think I'm going to set you guys up. That's going to be the next plan, is kind of get this baby set to where we're pulling that down, and then get the alternator to where we can kind of pull some tension on this thing. And man, we are like getting close. Maybe pull that blower back off and finish weld up the intake. I think we're about ready to you know, get things sealed up and fired up is the plan. So let's go ahead and knock this belt out, because we need that to get her fired up, and keep rolling. Oh yeah, we got a belt system. A little concerned it might not be tight enough. I don't know. This is like tight up here, so I don't want to bring this down anymore. But this down here, I mean, it's not loose, but it's not like, tight and we're fully adjusted. And the belts aren't broke in and stuff yet, you know, so a little concerned about that. We may have to cut that and lengthen the alternator bracket, which I guess looks like about my best option is to kind of space the alternator over. We got plenty of room if we need to, but overall, yeah, everything lines up pretty good. It does just barely pinch these belts in, just a pinch, tiny bit, not hardly. We'll kind of angle this off a little bit right here, weld it all in. I think time it's all painted, you won't even think twice about it. That looks sweet. And it's just one bolt or one nut, like any kind of factory or whatever belt system, just simple, easy to replace. Keep that part number just so we got it. But yeah, that looks good. I think we're gonna pull the charger back off, go ahead and get that intake all welded up, because I think that's about it. And then we can start getting ready for a test fire. So let's get that off, weld her up. All welded up. Time to go back together. Well, I think I got it ready to start. We got fuel. Everything's hooked up, I believe. I don't know. Is it gonna run? Let's find out. I'm so excited. I got fuel coil over here. I got our push button up here. Everything seems to be working. Let's try it. One belt flipped. What we got going on here? Ooh, is that not gonna work? Yeah, kind of cocks that belt. I don't know. Let's see if it's going to keep doing that. Sounds good. Sounds really good, actually. Let me set the idle down just a pinch. Sounds like it's going to run good. Round two. Oh. Our belt immediately rolled again. I don't like that. You tighten up our distributor a little bit too, because it's just a wobbling everywhere. I got some, what are these? 15, 30 seconds? Yeah, what are these? Yeah, they're 15, 30 seconds. I think we need to hop down to a 3/8. A little bit smaller. These were nice and fat. That's why I liked them. Woo! She runs though. Man, I'm excited. All right. Been a couple days. Waiting on belts. Old V belts just aren't as easy to come by as they used to be. Gotta wait a couple days, you know. But we got some. They fit much better. They really get down there in the grooves and the pulleys. I think they're gonna bite a lot harder. Yeah, happy with it. Hopefully it don't roll off. Well, let's fire it up again. It's amazing. I'll say this before we try to start it. It's amazing how well it has been starting. It's really been starting very well. So let's see if it just keeps up on that trend. Probably make a liar out of me now. Anyways. Belts seem to be tracking a lot better. Just don't run too bad. Not bad, not bad. I'm pretty darn happy with it. Belt seems to stay on. I don't know, we're revving her pretty good there. She hasn't flown off. I want to change this angle just a pinch. It's just a pinch out. And it does seem to want to pull the belts together a little bit as it's running. Doesn't seem to hurt it any. I mean, they're staying nice and tight. I don't know, only time will tell. You guys are definitely have to drop in a comment on this one. Let me know. I wanted it to be wild, wanted it to be in your face. I think we definitely got that aspect with this build. I mean, whoop, stop jacking around here anyways. Looks pretty good. It's wild, it's in your face. Really excited. Yeah, I know it's probably not for everybody. I think it's super cool. If we're gonna have a 6-cylinder in there, it might as well look sweet. And if anything, I think it's a conversation piece. It will definitely draw people in, whether they like it or not. You can't argue. It's one of those things you got to go look at and see what in the heck is going on. Anyways, appreciate you guys watching thus far as always. Next time we're gonna get back onto the body. Appreciate you guys. Watch everything we've been doing on this old bad boy. Make sure to check out Ratstock. We're gonna be there. She's a screamer. Catch you guys on the next one. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. See ya.